All right, take two. Welcome to Little Pod That Could. Again, I say it wouldn't be a Brendon podcast without 20 minutes beforehand of him. And even after we get connected, his internet goes out. I mean, it's just par for the course. Brendon,
I'm a fucking mess.
I think this is the fourth time you've been on the pod. Is that right?
Uh, I think so. I thought it was like three or four. It's been a long time. It's been a
Yeah.
long fucking
You've
time.
been putting it off for super long, no matter how many times I ask, but it's fine. It's fine.
I had a lot going on.
Okay, speaking of which, yeah, let's talk. So you got your first big boy job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how's
No
that
longer
going?
working customer service.
Right.
It honestly has been great. It feels very nice to actually have a job that I mean, have a consistent schedule. I don't ever have to talk to any customers, which is honestly the best part. And I can actually that no, it's the truth. I
Yeah, I
mean,
hear you.
dude, customers are brutal.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. I think about it every day. I'm like, right now I could be getting yelled at by some customer
Uh,
because I didn't make their drink correct, but instead
but instead you're not.
I'm not. Yeah. So it's
Okay,
going great. It's honestly going great. I love it so far,
that's good.
and yeah,
Yeah,
enjoying it. So
you're
life is
growing
good.
up. You're growing up. Our baby's all grown up.
I got a haircut.
Yeah,
Last time I was on the podcast, I had really long hair, I think.
yeah, you did.
hmm
And now it's not as long, but still long.
It's like it's pretty long, but it's not like I don't know. It's not super long.
Yeah. Okay. Well, today we've got to. I want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about NFL and NBA and how COVID is impacting that. What you're seeing, stuff I've noticed, and then I've got some other stuff to talk about that you don't care about. So let's start with which one are you excited more for football or hoops right now, and why?
I mean, like I personally like the NBA more. I just find it cool that you can get so drawn to like a certain player because there's way less players in the NBA as there is in the NFL. And
Hmm.
also just I have always played basketball my whole life and I haven't played football my whole life.
Yeah.
But like right now, I'd probably say the NFL because it's playoffs
Right.
and
Now,
like college football.
are you
Tyler just happened and
right? Georgia won. Woo woo woo. Right.
go dogs. Lost
Uh,
$15 that night.
hey,
Fucking Bama. I had to one time
congratulations!
bet against Bama and I lose the bet.
Congratulations. What was I gonna say? Oh, are you a fantasy football guy?
hmm
Okay. How'd you do in your league this year?
So I got first in one of my leagues.
Oh,
Yep. Won a title.
okay, okay.
Got 300 smackaroons.
Not money though, because that'd be illegal. Gambling's illegal.
No, smackaroons,
Yeah.
dude, not money.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Uh, and then I got fourth in another league.
Ooh. Okay.
So I
Okay.
had a good year. It
Yeah.
wasn't. I had a chance for first in the other league too, but it just
Who
and
is
I just
your
didn't work out.
top producing guy? Did you have Jonathan
Well, the
Taylor?
team that won the title, no, I wish because I'm
Okay.
a Colts fan.
Okay.
I wish, but the team that won the title, my best two players were Joe Burrow and Devontae Adams.
Okay. Okay.
Which I know if there's anyone else out there that does fantasy football and they had Joe Burrow, he had like just back to back crazy weeks. Like he carried me.
Yeah. Okay. Um, that's one thing, I kind of want to talk about shows that took off during the pandemic, but I think sports took off because of the pandemic too. Like people, were just in the habit of like they expect sports to always be there, and I think when they were gone, people were like, "Whoa," So I had friends that had never done fantasy before do fantasy. I actually even thought about it, but I think I'd get too competitive, and I don't want to spend a bunch of time like trying to figure out who to play, and yeah. So, but did you notice more interest in fantasy and sports, like any of that stuff this year?
Mm, I mean, I've been doing fantasy football since I was in sixth grade.
Okay.
Me like my dad and my brother would always join leagues together.
Hmm.
So like I feel like every year there's always a new interest because all my friends are starting to do it,
Okay.
and so I'm starting to notice that. Like I started noticing in high school, but yeah, you definitely tell like more and more people are starting to do fantasy football. It's honestly so fun. it adds like a different dynamic to watching games on Sundays. It's just like
Yeah.
you get so like you're just watching and randomly like one of your guys gets a 60-yard touchdown. It's like holy shit, like that's fucking awesome. Like we get a lot of points from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it's definitely like getting more. It's bigger and bigger every year. I mean, if you do like other fantasy sports, it's definitely not getting as big, like basketball or
Hmm.
I guess there's fantasy soccer that a lot of people enjoy, but it's fantasy football only really. That's like the biggest.
Yeah. And
Baseball was like the beginner, I think, though, right? That's where it started.
yeah, I think you're right. There's a 30
Hmm.
for 30 on it. It was like a bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah,
nerds in their basement that started it.
yeah. And they like started the rotisserie league because the rotisserie league is like the first like league. Like it's like the first like format of how you play was
Yeah.
a rotisserie league, where it's like you don't play everyone, you don't play anyone, you just play like everyone basically.
Mm. Okay.
Like every week, it's just like your score versus everyone else's.
Huh. That's interesting.
I'm pretty yeah. I've seen that 30 for 30, but that was a long time ago. I
Yeah,
forgot
me
about that
too.
30 for 30.
Me too. I don't even know if I finished it, just because I'm not a fantasy guy, so it was like it was cool, but like I don't know that I finished that.
I don't
Okay.
even remember it really being that great.
So you're more excited about hoops. What do you think? Because I mean, COVID obviously is running rampant through the NBA, and so a bunch of guys are missing. And I even had some friends that were gonna go. I think they were gonna go see the Bucks when they played the Blazers in town, and they were like, "Man, maybe I'm not gonna go because I'm not even sure who's playing." So I wonder, like, how much of an impact that's having on. Because not only is it like impacting records and stuff, but like it's got to be, I would say, somehow affecting attendance and stuff too. Have you noticed anything like that?
Well, the Raptors are the only team actually right now, but they're also in Canada, so I guess that
Right.
is a little bit different because crossing the border and stuff like that. It's just like different rules every country. But Canada is they have no fans.
Oh shoot.
I don't know if you saw the game last night. The Suns played the Raptors,
Mm-mm.
and dude, you gotta look it up. It's pretty funny. There's like so many memes on Twitter about it right now. But the Raptors mascot was standing behind the hoop,
Yeah.
just distracting Devin Booker while he was shooting free throws, and Devin Booker started like talking shit to the Raptor mascot. And there's
Yeah.
been so many funny tweets about it.
Huh. Okay. All right. I'll check
But
it out.
um, for like, it definitely has affected some teams. Like some teams haven't really been hit by COVID that bad, and then some teams like their like whole roster got hit by COVID.
Right.
But I mean, I look at it as like some teams have so the 10-day hardship
Mm-hmm.
contract
Mm-hmm.
where you sign for 10 days. So, I mean like some teams have like signed guys for the end of the year off of it.
Right. Well,
Like the Suns signed Bismack Biyombo for the rest of the year.
okay.
And so
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, you can go, you go, you go.
Well, I was gonna say. So I messaged Grayson, the professor, because I was thinking like a smart marketing person would be like, "Hey, why don't we sign this guy to attend?" Like, if there was ever a time to like bring in somebody that really just brings attention. Not that I mean, I think Grayson is good, and I mean, I think he's probably not that far off from like a G League guy.
I don't know about that.
Okay, okay,
I
but
mean, I don't know. I guess I don't actually have not seen him play in like so long, so I don't know.
But what I'm saying is like he can't be like that far off, right? Because like you bring up, I mean, I see Woj tweeting about, oh well, they've signed some guy I've never heard of from the G League. And I'm like, what if he said, the Clippers signed Grayson Boucher to a 10-day contract? Like, I mean, at this point with rosters changing and everything's in flux, like, why would you not just want to put asses in seats?
Yeah, that is a way, but I think teams are also looking to like actually like find guys that like stick on the roster.
I mean, kind
Like
of,
they're
but they're
actually
expecting
interested
a
in
bunch of
signing
those guys
guys
to
that
come back.
what was that?
They're expecting a bunch of their, current players to come back. So if that happens, those guys are going to be
Yeah,
gone.
but there's always players on the roster that they cut. Like the Suns had a guy they signed at the start of the year and they cut him
Hmm.
after they signed Bismack Biyombo to the rest of the year because he signed on the 10-day.
Hmm.
So like they just cut it. Like like teams are actually like taking this opportunity to try and find like talent. Like
Sure.
I honestly can't I don't want to like rip on the professor. Like he's obviously a way better basketball player than me. But
Hmm.
like the guys that are getting signed to the 10-day contracts aren't just like absolute ass basketball players. Like they were actually like low level college D1 athletes that were like really good at their
Mhm.
schools.
Okay. Then how about like someone like AJ Lepre who played D1? You know what I mean? I just
Yeah,
think
like someone
like
like that. Like that's
why
like
are
that. Like
smart
yeah,
why are
like
smart
some.
marketers not looking at guys that have massive followings, knowing that it's going to bring attention? I mean, Grayson's following is dwarfs AJ's. I mean, dwarfs it. So I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like on a 10-day contract, it's not like Grayson's going to implode your team. Like he can go out and make plays, and I'm sure like
Yeah,
play
I just
enough,
think
well
like
enough.
also like the fans. It's kind of the same still. Like the fans still show up for the good teams. Like if you're a good team, if you're a playoff contending team, you're pretty much gonna have almost a sellout.
But
Like if
think
you
about this,
like the
like
Blazers don't have any sellouts right now because they kind of suck.
right, but like a guy on a 10-day contract, like how much is that random G leaguer gonna really move the needle? For the most part, I mean, there's a couple, but for the most part, not much. So I mean, to me, it's like fans are also gonna show up to see the professor play in the NBA. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like basketball guys, and that's kind of what he said. He said that I don't want to talk out of school, but that there's still kind of a stigma about street ball, in the NBA. And so no one had really reached out, but I mean,
I just
just
gotta
it seems
say
like
like
someone in the marketing department would be like, "Hey, this is a good opportunity right now," but yeah, it's not happening.
I mean yeah I mean the NBA makes so much fucking money. Like I don't think they need a professor to come in for 10 days and help them make
Well,
more
but
money
it's
just to
not
go
it's
win
not the
games.
NBA, it's teams. You know what I mean? Like if you're looking at, like I said, like I have a couple friends who like skipped going to a game they were planning on going to because, a bunch of the guys were out. You might get a demographic because his demo is probably like, I would say under, I don't know, 16, 17 under. Those kids would in that area would probably show up for those games. I don't know. I just think like from a marketing perspective it makes a lot of sense, but what do I know?
I don't know. I feel like it sounds like it makes a lot of sense, but I just think it's also like the NBA is so massive. I don't know. I see what you're trying to say, but I don't
Yeah.
think the professor is really going to
You
add that many more seats to the stands. Add
I'm
more
okay,
people to
I'm
the
saying
stands.
he's
I
going to
don't.
add more than plus okay. So not only is he going to bring people
I
into the
think. I think
stadium.
if the Blazers signed him, because he's from Oregon, if the Blazers signed
Mhm.
him, that would be huge for the Blazers. But
Yeah.
he would also get torched. Like, what is he like 5'6"?
No, dude, he's almost 6 foot.
He is really. I guess he
Yeah.
just plays against massive giants. But
Yeah. I
uh,
mean,
like
I would
the Lakers just
like
signed Isaiah Thomas to a 10-day, and
yeah.
Isaiah looked ass. Like he
Right.
looked like
But that's
dog
what I'm
shit.
saying. That's the whole point. Like, I mean, because here's what I would do. I would sign him to a 10-day and then be like, hey, just create content as much as you want behind the scenes, like in the locker rooms, like do whatever, because we know that it's gonna like bring positive attention to the organization. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like I mean, it's clear you hate the professor and you think he sucks. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I
I
get it.
don't hate the professor.
But
He's
I
an
mean,
Oregon
it's
legend.
fine.
He
It's
is
fine.
no, 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 no. I don't hate the professor. I'm just saying there is definitely a talent gap between the professor and the NBA.
I'll clip this and send it to him and let him know, send him your
I
handle.
mean, yeah, and if he like gets mad, he wants to challenge me 1-on-1. Like, yeah, he would beat me 1-on-1.
Yeah. And then you can make content and we could embarrass you on the internet.
You're being so toxic right now. You're being so fucking toxic.
Dude,
Trying to, I'm gonna get fucking hate mail from the professor just because I said he's just not as good as NBA players.
all his fans are coming straight for you, bro.
It's
That's the
whatever.
title of the episode,
I'm literally
Brendon.
a fan of the guy. Like I'm a
Dude,
fan of him.
the title of the episode is Brendon Hates the Professor. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. You froze for a second. Oh, I was wondering, you muted
No, I
your
was just
mic
eating food.
because you were eating. Okay. All right. For those of you who can't see, he DoorDashed some Chipotle and is muting his mic while he takes a bite, so we don't have to hear it. It's very nice of you.
You guys
Um,
want? They can listen to me just chomp lettuce.
yeah.
Just,
So your sons are doing pretty well.
yeah. They're doing very well, actually.
first in the
Number one
West,
record
right?
in the league.
Yeah.
In the league.
Okay. Oh, in the league. Okay. Okay.
I mean, it's only
Okay.
by a game, and it's like we're just one game up on the Warriors, but still.
Yeah. I think it's going to be an exciting playoffs. I like that the Warriors are good again.
No, it's gonna be really exciting playoffs. I think it's gonna be a good year because it's not like because like before, like the years past, it would always be like, oh well, like the West was like always so dominant, and it was like, well, whoever wins the West will win the finals.
Yeah.
But this year, it's like the East's top teams are super good, and the West top teams are super good, and it's like it could go either way,
Yeah. Which team are you
which is
most?
awesome.
Which team in the NBA are you most disappointed in?
Disappointed. I mean, the Lakers are kind of a disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that. Um, I think the Hawks so
Yeah.
far have
That's what
been
I was
very
going to say.
disappointing.
Yeah.
The Hawks have been super disappointing, actually. I'm kind of shocked. I thought they were going to have like a good year, and I thought they were going to be pretty dangerous. I mean, they've had injuries and COVID problems. They were kind of one of the first teams that had a lot of COVID problems,
Hmm.
and so it obviously like just getting back to playing with each other and like the whole same team getting back together. It just the continuity will be there, but yeah, they've been kind of disappointing.
Well, I am hearing some rumors. Have you heard about Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris for crap, who was it? They were talking about
Don't
the
say Trae Young.
Hawks, but I can't. No, no. The Hawks are not trading Trae Young. I can't. It
No, that would
was.
be the worst.
It was someone with the Hawks though, but I don't remember. Anyway,
Was
what do
it
you?
like John Collins or some shit, or
Maybe, yeah,
like Kevin Huerter and John Collins?
yeah, maybe. I don't remember. But what do you think about the whole Ben Simmons thing?
I I feel like Ben Simmons just has the wrong people in his ear.
Okay.
I feel like he is, which I think people have like kind of like reported this too. I heard he has like a lot of yes men around him,
Mm-hmm.
and they just like are always just like hyping him up and pumping him up and telling him like nothing's wrong. I don't know. He hasn't played in like all year, so like I guess I'm interested to see if he actually worked on a shot with this dead time. I hope he would actually try to improve his game, but
Yeah.
I think he's a diva.
Right. When I
I
mean,
mean,
so would you be interested in him? I know you're not a Blazer fan necessarily, but would you be interested in him coming to the Blazers? Because that was talked about for a while.
I think the Blazers should be. I don't know. I think the Blazers should try and maybe go after him. I mean, have you watched Anthony Simons first off?
A little bit. Not this
He's a
season, really.
fucking stud. He is a
Yeah.
stud. He's only what 21, so he's like the age of some other rookies, and he is like killing it over his last like 5 games. What is he averaging, like 27?
I don't know.
And it's like
Is that
it's like no, I know I'm pretty sure, but it's like an efficient 27 too. It's like 40% from three and like 50% from the field. Like he had 43 like the first game Dame sat out.
hmm.
Anthony Simons had like 43 against, I can't remember who. It was like a playoff team. I think it was the Hawks, and he had like 43 against them, and he went off. It was like really impressive. I think if they can keep him and try to get like a young stud like a Ben Simmons or a Jalen
Hmm.
Brown, trade you'll probably have to trade Dame, but like
So
at this
you're okay
point,
with
like
trading Dame or CJ?
well, I think every Blazer fan at this point is definitely okay with trading CJ. I don't see why they would not be okay with trading CJ, but
Hmm.
Dame, I think it's like if you can keep Dame, obviously they're gonna want to keep Dame because he is Portland, like he's the franchise right now, like
Hmm.
he's been the franchise for a while. So
Hmm.
they probably and he's the face. But I think, in my opinion, I think everyone on the Blazers should be available for a trade except Dame, Anthony Simons, and Nazir Little.
Hmm. Okay.
I think everyone else should be available in trade.
Okay.
But the problem with CJ is like they want to probably trade him, but he is like 30 million a year.
Hmm.
So it's like
Yeah.
kind of hard to get another team to take that contract and try to get actual like value from like the other team. Like that's pretty tough.
Right. Which is why they were kind of talking about a Simmons trade early on because they have similar salaries. What do you think about
Yeah, well,
Chauncey? Sorry, go
Chauncey.
ahead. Finish your thought, and then we'll talk about
I
Chauncey.
mean, no, you're good. I'm done. Chauncey, he like it's kind of hard to tell because like they've had like some injuries and they haven't had Dame all year, and Dame's
Mm-hmm.
fighting an ab problem. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
been fighting the same ab problem for a couple years now. I heard he's gonna get surgery on it soon, actually, which he should.
Yeah, that's scary
And
though.
so it's I think he should sit out the rest of the season.
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
like what's they're not winning a playoff series.
Hmm. I I have not been. I don't even think they're going to get in the playoffs. They're like one of the worst teams in the league right now.
No, no, that's what I'm saying. Like you should like if you're not even gonna win a playoff series, like what's the point of even trying to play a guy who could get surgery and trying to push him to push your team to the playoffs? Like what's the point?
Yeah. Well, and then it would give you time to
Just to
like
get bounced in the
make
first round.
moves
Yeah.
and yeah. I'm not a huge Chauncey fan. I wasn't a big fan when they hired him, and then I felt like he missed his opportunity to kind of connect with Dame. Like that's the one guy on the team that you need to make sure is in your corner, and I just felt like he kind of fumbled that a little bit. And then the same thing with Ime Udoka. I think they're doing too much of like publicly calling out the players. Like, oh well, we're not giving good effort and we're being lazy, and it's like I think that's, you said I was toxic earlier. That's kind of a toxic thing. I always felt like you praise publicly and you correct privately. You know what I mean? Like, eventually maybe you have to say something in the press, but that shouldn't be where you start. And it definitely should. I mean, that was like both those guys were calling out their teams like 10 games into the season. Like, that's not a good look. To me, that's on you. Like, you're 10 games into a brand new team and they've already tuned you out. Like that's not a good look. And then you come out in the media and just say that they're lazy. I'm like, bad look.
No, I yeah, I do. I mean, Adoka one was weird. Like I don't even remember where he came from.
Well,
It's just like it was
he was
such a
part of the
random
San
hire.
Antonio. He's part of the Popovich tree.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah, he is. He's part of the
And
Popovich tree.
the thing
I
is,
mean,
like, he had like a lot of really good, recommendations when he got the job. Like everybody that had, because I think he was with the Sixers before that, and all the players were talking about how much they liked him and how great he was. So, but maybe they were saying that because they were glad he left. I mean, sometimes you'll
yeah.
give people good recommendations so that they leave. But yeah, I just haven't been impressed with. I mean, that's how I always look at teams, because I don't think you can look at a team that has less talent than another team and say, oh, well, the team with more talent's winning, so they're better. I look at, like, with your talent, are you achieving as much as you should? You know what I mean? And it's like, with the Blazers, I don't know, maybe. They've had a lot of guys out, so maybe that's outside of. I guess it just rubbed me the wrong way when he came out and was talking bad about the players' effort publicly. I was like, that's just a bad move.
Well, like, yeah, no, no, you're like so right. Like, so like the Grizzlies aren't like okay. The Grizzlies are obviously talented.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're obviously very talented, but like when you look at the Grizzlies roster and the Celtics roster, like there's not like a big talent difference, but
Right.
the Grizzlies are just way better than the Celtics. Like
Well,
when you watch them play, you can tell they actually like playing with each other.
and one thing I heard about the Grizzlies is that they're so deep that COVID hasn't been as big of an issue, which I do think matters. Like if there was ever a
Mm-hmm.
year where 6 through 10 on your bench really, really matters, it's this year. You know,
Oh
so
yeah,
I guess
definitely.
I just like
Well, like Chris Paul was saying, like
go ahead.
these guys are like saving the season.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Like
and I think
and like
go.
so this is just kind of like the out on your professor thing. Like the professor like already has his money. Like this is cool for like some of these random guys to just get their shot. Like this is literally like their shot.
Sure. But I'm saying, you don't think the professor would be stoked to be on a 10-day contract in the NBA? Of course he would.
No, it
It
would, but
doesn't
he's still
matter that
gonna
he
he
has the
still has
money.
his money. He still has his
Sure.
following.
But it's not about that. Like, it'd be like if he had, if say he plays for the Lakers and someone gets a picture of him in a Laker jersey bringing the ball up the floor on the crypto.com floor. I mean, that's something like
Crypto.
you'll have forever.
Yeah.
Respect. I mean, they paid like $900 million to rename it, so we got to give them their respect.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Um,
true. That's true.
So, I mean, I guess the
Hold
final
up.
thing on the coaching thing is I think that you can only publicly call out players a couple times before they turn on you. And the last thing you want to do is use it early on in the season when things are just getting started. And I guess I just felt like that was kind of like rookie coaching mistakes.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
was like,
definitely rookie coaching.
not a
I
good
think at
look.
the end of the day, like your players are professional athletes and they know when they're playing like shit. Like they know
Yeah,
like and if your team isn't winning, like your team just isn't obviously as talented as other teams, but like they know when they play like shit. Like you can't yell at them. Like that's not going to light a fire under them. That's just going to piss
right,
them off. And they're just going
right.
to hate you and it's in your locker room's going to like Monty Williams, the Suns coach, always talks about that. He like they're like, "Well, what did you say to like to Devin Booker or Chris Paul to get him going?" He's like, "I didn't say anything." He's like, "They get themselves going. They're professionals.
Right.
They know when to get it going, which is yeah, like you can tell when rookie coaches when they come out and just bash like their team, it's like, dude, like you're gonna get fired at the end of the year next year. Like that was a
Yeah.
terrible decision. And you can
Right.
tell with the Celtics already, they don't look very good.
No. No.
No, not at
Okay.
all.
What do you think about the all Turner teams that like to eat? So Luca, James Harden, and Zion. Give me some takes on those guys.
The all what?
All
What did you
Turner
say?
team, big dudes,
Oh, Luca, Zion, and who?
and James Harden.
Well, first off, Zion just needs to lose some weight. Like he's literally just the next Greg Oden. But
Dang, you're
Luca
calling him
is,
Greg Oden this early?
dude. He has literally played one more game in his first 3 seasons than Greg Oden, or
Hmm.
his first two.
But he's
It's
had
like
more of an impact in the games he's played.
Greg Oden was like
Not
when
like
he
that, dude.
played.
No way. No
No,
way.
I know, but
Zion was
yeah,
like
but Greg Oden
potentially on
also
an
didn't
all
weigh
NBA team.
300. Greg Oden didn't weigh 300 pounds, and that was 6'6".
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the weight thing, and Barkley kind of pokes at him on inside the NBA, but like I do think it is an issue, and it's tough. Like you were saying about Simmons, like all these guys have yes men, like that's not a good thing. Like Barkley talks about Moses Malone, and in his rookie year, he went to talk to Moses Malone because he was frustrated. And Moses said, "You're fat and lazy, and unless you get in shape and start working hard, you're never going to reach your potential." And he said like that, he credits that with like the turning point of his career. But now, like the team can't say that. The Pelicans are already afraid they're going to lose him. So the last thing they can do is say, "Hey, you need to lose some weight." So I mean, these guys are like, I mean, I heard rumors that Luka is 260.
Luka's pretty thick. He is a pretty thick guy.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Luka's game is so different from Zion's.
yeah.
Like
But it's
Zion
not
relies on his explosiveness.
right. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't help to carry that extra weight, no matter who you are.
No, that's true.
Oh my gosh, mouthful of food. It's an awkward long pause. But
I was waiting
I
for you to
guess
talk.
to
You were
go on with that
talking.
while you're chewing.
You start talking and I take a bite and then you just like
Well, you know what? I didn't know you were gonna take a bite. I thought you were done eating.
dude, I'm not even
See,
close to
and then
them.
you mute your mic again. But anyway,
My mic's not muted.
speaking of the all Turner team, that's you right now. That's you right now, just eating Chipotle on the podcast. But
Chipotle on the pod.
yeah.
You ever
So
had Chipotle
I do.
on the pod?
I do think. No.
Is
no.
this brought to you by
I
Chipotle?
do think that's
Is Chipotle the
no.
sponsor?
No, dude.
Oh.
They. I asked them, but they said they couldn't afford our rates.
You're a Doba guy.
I do like Qdoba. I do like
Qdoba
Qdoba
all the way.
better too. Yeah, it's just tastier.
Yeah, I'm kind of Chipotle. It's just like it hasn't been hitting the same. No, it hasn't at all.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah, why
go.
didn't you
Go.
DoorDash
You were gonna say
Qdoba? It's
something.
like closer to where you live anyway.
It's like 2 minutes closer, like 2 seconds closer.
Yeah,
It's like down
and
the road.
tastes way better.
Dude, you were gonna say something. Just let me eat my Chipotle, all right? God, I'm just a boy.
Yeah, eat your less good food, even though you had the choice to eat something much better. Anyway, okay, so this is stuff I kind of want to transition into stuff that you don't know anything about. So this would actually probably be good for you to finish your
Yeah,
food.
dude, just start fucking lecturing everyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
Let
say.
those let
What
them
should I
hear
talk
that
about?
beautiful voice.
That's what I'm saying. I want to talk about some shows that benefited from the pandemic, and some shows that people. I also had a good idea for a segment called Just in Case, and I want to like go over older stuff that people don't really know about anymore, but like they should see because it's good, or listen to because it's good. Do you like
All
that?
right, go for it. Yeah, let's hear it.
Do you like that idea?
I love it.
Okay, we're gonna do it at the end. So I want to talk about shows. So obviously the first show that benefited from the pandemic was Tiger King, right? And we don't need to go over that. We don't need to process it again. But especially, did you hear anything about Tiger King 2? Or did you see it at all?
I know someone that watched it, and they said it's just, I don't know. They were kind of vague about it. They just said it wasn't like as good.
Yeah, it's not as good, and you can kind of tell like they were just trying to make money off of the previous one. And it to me though was like I think if the pandemic, the timing of the Tiger King was just like perfect. I think if the pandemic hadn't have started, I don't think Tiger King is as big. But one show that and my mom was trying to get me to watch it for like a year, and I've heard Bill Simmons said his dad, who's like 70 something, was trying to get him to watch it for like 2 years. Is Yellowstone, and I was putting it off. It's now like the most watched show. Did you know that?
Oh, I know that show's huge. A lot of people talk about
Yeah,
it.
and you haven't seen it because you don't like watching good
No,
TV.
I like
So,
watching
but
The
it
Office
is
and Friends, and
well, hey, and Yellowstone is on Peacock. So if you have
we'll see.
Peacock
What
for
I
The
like to do
Office,
is like sometimes I love to just like sit there and like just go on my phone and then just like tune in and out, and so it's like
yeah,
The Office and yeah.
dude. The crazy thing about The Office is like, I think the show ended in like 2017, maybe somewhere in that range, and it's still the number one watched show on the Peacock app. Yellowstone's number
Well, what's so
two.
funny about The Office is like I remember my mom would be watching it, and I would like walk through like the living room, and I'd be like, that show
Hmm.
doesn't even look funny at all.
Hmm.
And then I like watched it like not long later, and I was like, dude, this show's like the funniest fucking show I've ever watched.
Why did you get into it? Did you see it on Netflix and decide to watch it because your mom was watching it, or what started you watching it?
I remember my brother was like watching it, and I would just like start watching it with him, and I was like, dude, this stuff is like so funny. Like this is hilarious. And so I just started watching it all the time. I've watched it so
It's
many
crazy
times
to
now that
me. Me too. But it's crazy to me that it's still resonating with people. Like, I'm making something up and saying 2017, but I mean, it's been off the air for years, but it still resonates with people, like in a huge way. Not like, oh yeah, some people still watch it. I mean, they moved it from Netflix, and I kind of thought, oh, not many people are gonna transfer over to watch it. But I mean, it's still their number one show.
no, I know. Well, it's on I have Hulu and it's always on TV every night. Like literally it's on I don't know
Oh,
what
okay.
channel it's on. I think it's Comedy Central. But it's been playing on Comedy Central for like the last month every night, and so I watch it until I go to bed.
Hmm. Okay. Well,
And
Yellowstone,
I
if
do
you
it
decide to
yeah.
watch, what were you gonna say?
No, you go. It was stupid. It wasn't even interesting. No one would have liked it.
But that's pretty much everything you say on the podcast, except for when you said you hated the professor. Other than that,
Oh yeah, dude, I hate that guy so much.
I
The
don't know.
flaming passion.
Okay.
The
So
professor,
anyway, I think people should
more like
watch
the
Yellowstone.
bad at basketball
Huh?
player.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah. Just eat your Chipotle. So anyway, I think people should watch Yellowstone. The other thing, which I can't believe you don't watch, because I'm sure most people your age are watching it, is Cobra Kai, and the fourth season just came out on New Year's Eve. Why are you not watching
Okay,
Cobra Kai?
give me like this is serious.
Okay.
Give me 3 reasons why I should watch Yellowstone, and give me 3 reasons why I should watch Cobra Kai.
Ooh, good.
Because
Good
I
question.
like people listening might not have watched it either, and they're thinking, why should I watch it? And you talk about it
Yeah.
all the time. Give us reasons why we should watch it.
Okay. So Yellowstone is set in Montana, and so it has like just a bunch of Montana scenery, which is awesome. That is, like it kind of transports you into like I don't know. I've never been to Montana, but like I would want to go now because it's like so amazing looking. The
No, scenery
story,
in a TV show is a serious thing.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I led with that. I led with that. I think there's a lot of there's a lot of exciting violence. How's that? So like there's stuff that doesn't happen in other shows, where you're like, "Whoa, that was intense." And I think like Taylor Sheridan, the guy who wrote it, also wrote Wind River, that movie. He also 1883, which is out on Paramount right now, and Mayor of Easttown, I think, is also out on Paramount app. He's just written, and he was in Sons of Anarchy, and he wrote something else that I was like, what? And that was really good, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway, he's like a prolific writer, and he wrote all the episodes of Yellowstone. So, I mean, if you like his stuff, you'll definitely like the show. So, have you seen anything like Wind River or anything like that? Sons of
Mm-mm,
Anarchy?
no. I
Okay.
like know what Sons of Anarchy is, but I didn't. That was like a show when I was younger, and so I just like it was never on TV. When you're younger,
It
it's
is on
kind of like
Netflix.
what's on TV that your parents put on is what you watch sometimes, and it
Yeah.
was just never a show that my parents put on. So
Okay. It's pretty good. It might be worth a rewatch at some point or a watch at some point in your life. Okay, and then
yeah,
Cobra Kai, for someone old like me, the nostalgia of like coming back into the world of the Karate Kid has like some value in and of itself. Like I had a podcast on Monday with my friend Chad, and we were talking about Cobra Kai because he's watching it and loves it. And he said, "Do you think people are watching Cobra Kai because it's really well written or because it's nostalgic?" And I said, yes. The answer is kind of a little of both. Like, they take this kind, and some of it's kind of cheesy. I mean, they're like karate fighting in public. You know what I mean? Like, it's not super realistic, but the characters in the show all have like complex relationships, all have complex issues, and the writers were like huge Karate Kid fans. So when they started writing the show, they're like constantly going back to the movies, referencing stuff that happened in the movies, bringing characters back from the old movies. So I guess if you haven't seen those movies, maybe it's not quite as appealing, even though they explain like who they are by flashing back in the show. But the show's just fun. It's like,
that's pretty cool. That's actually cool. That's like
eh,
that's cool that it's like fans of the show that are like writing it now. Like they
yeah,
like
well,
they care about the product they're putting out. Like some
yeah,
people
and
are
just
just like
this,
it's like about the money what they're putting out, but they
right.
want it to be good.
Well, and a couple things with Cobra Kai, they had started um, because over time there had been some like fan theories that actually Johnny was the good guy and the Karate Kid was the bad guy, and so they kind of play off of that too. So like hardcore fans of the Karate Kid are like getting rewarded for like their fandom. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know,
That's
and
cool.
it was one of the first shows that finally did remakes right. Instead of like trying to remake something like the Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, they were like, let's take the world that existed and let's just pick up where it's at right now. You know what I mean? So the Karate Kid and Johnny
Yeah.
were in high school in the 80s. Well, now they're 50. And what's happening to their lives now? You know what I mean? So, and now a lot of different shows are
Is Ralph
trying to
Macchio in it?
do that. Yes, he is.
Have you
So,
seen How I Met Your Mother?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Oh man, everyone if anyone has seen How I Met Your Mother, they know that the Barney Stinson.
Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris,
So
right?
he's like, yeah, Neil Patrick Harris. So he's obsessed with the Karate Kid, the movie, and so
Okay.
for his birthday, they do a thing where they get Ralph Macchio to show up to his birthday party. But he
Hmm.
loves the Karate Kid because he hates Ralph Macchio's character. He loves the villain, and it's so funny.
Interesting.
Like the way he like reacts, it's hilarious. It's just like, yeah, no, it's pretty funny. I thought you'd seen it, and so it'd been a
Well,
cool
in
reference, but it wasn't cool, I
yeah,
guess.
sorry,
But
my bad, my bad. But it's like they
yeah,
do things like the fans over time had been like, how did Daniel win? It was an illegal kick to the face. And so they'll like mention that in the show. You know what I mean? Like tipping their cap to the fans. So I just think there's like, but even if you're not a Karate Kid fan, I have a number of people who never saw the show, never saw the movies, and just started, and they all loved it. Like it's not super. I mean, there are complex relationships and stuff, but it's also like a fun. You're not gonna be
yeah.
like when I watch This Is Us, I can't binge it because it's like too heavy. You know what I mean? Cobra Kai
You
is
know when you
not
like
that.
watch a show, I don't know how to explain this if it makes sense to you. You know when you watch a show and you just feel safe?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like the characters make you feel like you're at home.
Yes. The Office is
And
like
is that
that,
what you're
right?
trying to? Yeah, the off Friends for me
Yes.
is like that.
Yeah. Cobra
Like,
Kai
have
is
you
like
seen
that.
Modern Family? Yeah, so that's
Yes.
your
I need
Cobra
to go
Kai.
back
It
and
makes you
finish.
feel like you're.
I watched like the first couple seasons of Modern Family, but then I missed somewhere because it was like moving around on streaming platforms and stuff. Anyway, but yeah, I do need to go back
Yeah,
and rewatch
I
that
I
series because it
actually
was
never
really
really
good.
like watched it, and then someone I know, like a friend, came over and they're like, "Have you ever watched Modern Family?" So we started watching it, and then I got like addicted to it, and then I finished it like so
Yeah.
fast, and I was like so sad because I didn't
Okay.
even know I was close to finishing it, and I was just watching an episode, and I'm like, I feel like this is like the last episode. And I looked and I was like, that was the fucking last episode. I just finished this damn show. And I was kind of disappointed,
Dang.
but yeah.
Dang. Okay. Well, yeah.
Are you
See,
gonna
for
watch
not.
the?
Go ahead.
Are you gonna watch the Book of Fett?
I'm watching it right now. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited. I need to watch it. I need to
Oh,
sit down and
really?
watch that actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been excited for that.
So excited you haven't watched an episode yet.
Yeah, no, seriously though. But I'm actually excited. I
It's.
haven't even
Did you
seen
like The
Spider-Man yet, dude.
Mandalorian?
I haven't found time.
Oh, Spider
I'm
Man's very
obsessed with
good.
The Mandalorian. No, I've heard
Okay.
great reviews about Spider-Man. I'm fully expecting Spider-Man to be amazing. But
Yeah.
um yeah, and I'm kind of disappointed I haven't seen Spider-Man because I was like stoked to see it and I just haven't really found time to like, and when I do have time I'm like I don't really want to go to the movie theater and sit
Yeah. Isn't
there
that
for like
weird?
3 hours.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. And
I
now I
just
find myself wanting
I
to
don't
sit way in the back so I can like be on my phone and stuff and not interrupt people. But yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's like I
weird.
just
The
don't really feel
movies.
like going all the way there and it's so
Yeah.
expensive
Right.
there. Like we thought for a little bit you could get it on Amazon or Prime and we
Hmm.
were really excited, but you can't. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I've seen all this every episode of The Mandalorian. I'm so excited for the new season.
So the
Whenever they
Mandalorian or
drop
the
it.
Book of Boba Fett is like the same writers, producers, directors as the Mandalorian. So it's in that same vein. So it's
That's
very
cool.
good. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I need to sit down and watch that show because I've like Boba Fett's like one of my favorite Star Wars characters. He's
Yeah.
cool.
For
He's a
sure.
really cool character.
For
And in The
sure.
Mandalorian, they remade his character like even better, like doper. Like,
Hmm.
because in the movies, like the original trilogy, he obviously doesn't look like the biggest badass. Like, he just shoots a couple bullets, steals Han Solo, and then just gets thrown into a fucking giant sand wizard's mouth or something. It's
Sarlacc.
just like, yeah, the
It
Sarlacc
goes
pit.
into the
It's
Sarlacc
like
pit.
it's not
Hmm.
he's not as cool, and it's like exciting to like see him do some badass stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it because he obviously
Okay.
is a badass.
Yes, I agree. So if I do my just in case before you, do you think you can come up with something?
Okay, so tell it to me again. What are we doing?
So I want to do, and I should have told you beforehand. My bad. I'm not
No, you're
organized
good.
enough. So I want to do like a movie, an album, a song, a book, like something that you have experienced in your life that a lot of people don't talk about and kind of got forgotten, but you think is like a legit thing that people should see, watch, read, hear.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I gotta think about that though. That is
Yeah,
tough.
yeah. I'm gonna go though while you're thinking, so to give you a little bit of time to think. So I'm
Okay.
gonna do a couple. I'm gonna do a
Yeah, do
movie.
that, and it'll
I'm gonna
kind of
do a
give me
movie
like it'll
first.
kind of give me something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the movie, I think people should see, and I think I tweeted this, but like 100 followers on Twitter. But the movie that I think people should see is called The Great Outdoors, and I think it's like 89, somewhere around there. It's old. It's really old, and it has John Candy. Who do you even know who that is?
Mm-mm.
He was in Uncle Buck. You might know him from. Did you ever see that movie when you were little? I'm dating myself.
No.
Okay. Well, John Candy was like a comedic, really funny. He was like a big, funny fat guy back in the day in the 80s. And it's him and Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd's from Ghostbusters, Blues Brothers. I don't know. You would probably know him from Ghostbusters. That was probably his biggest. Anyway. And they go on, they're like related by marriage. And John Candy takes his family out on a woods adventure vacation, and then Dan Aykroyd shows up, and it's just funny. There's a lot of funny lines, and I think it still holds up. Like, even if you're like, I don't want to watch an old movie like that. Like, I think if you watch it, it still holds up. It's very funny. So that's the movie I would recommend, The Great Outdoors.
Okay.
And I don't know where it's streaming. I should probably look that stuff up too, so I can tell people where they can see it. But it's very
you gotta
funny.
like tell them what streaming platforms it's on, or
Yeah, and it may not be. It might be. They're so old that you probably have to like rent them off Amazon or Apple or whatever. But so that's the movie. The music. See, and this is a tough one because you go a couple different ways. There's music from the early '90s that's really good and was like impactful in my life, but one is like super, like easier to listen to. But the one that's been on my mind, there's a band. Have you ever heard of the Counting Crows?
actually I've heard of them. I've heard of them, but I don't. I like if I heard a song, I'd probably be like,
Yeah,
kind of
so
sounds familiar.
the
But
song you might
yeah.
know is Accidentally in Love from Shrek.
Okay, then I've definitely heard it. I've seen
So
Shrek.
that's the Counting Crows. Anyway, in '94, I think, they had an album called August and Everything After. It was their first album, and it blew my mind how good it was. Like, it was no skips. You could put it on, listen to start to finish. So that's another album I think that people should be aware of. Shoot, I lost you on the video. Crap.
Oh, dude, I've been losing you on the
Oh, I
video
can
the
hear
whole
you
time.
though. Okay, I can still hear you. That's fine.
Okay,
As long as I
we're
can
good.
still hear you. Yeah. So I would say, and you can stream that on Spotify, Apple Music. I mean, it's not hard to find. They had a song called Mr. Jones that was like one of the biggest songs of that year. It was massive. They were on Saturday Night Live. Anyway, yeah, it was a big thing back in the day. So it's kind of, I don't know. I had Tyler, my friend, listen to it. I think he's like 30, almost 30. And he was like, yeah, it was different than I thought, but he didn't, he's like, I liked it, it was just different than I expected. So I don't know. It might have been the time in my life it was really impactful, but that's I think an album that people should check out.
Okay. I'm gonna go TV show
Okay.
because I've kind of been put on the spot.
Yeah, I
Have
like
you
it.
ever seen the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
So I watched most of the first season and really liked it, but for
Yeah,
some reason didn't finish it.
okay. I've done that with shows too. I'll like start a season. I'm like, oh, dude, I love this, but then I just
Yeah.
will stop watching it for some weird reason.
Yeah.
But it's like it's really stupid comedy, but it's not like so stupid. It's just like you'll watch an episode and you won't laugh for the first half of the episode, and in the last half, like I'll be by myself and I'll be literally laughing out loud by myself, and it's just kind of like I don't know. I love it. It's just they're idiots, but they're also like all like super good friends in real life. Like they have a podcast all together, and
Yeah.
like it's just a really good show. And
How
you
do
can
you-
it's cool like one of those shows too because they've gotten so much older throughout the show. Is because it's been on for so long.
It's not still on, right?
No, they're still making episodes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so I watch it on Hulu.
Rank
So if you
it
have
next
Hulu,
to The Office.
definitely check it out.
Okay. I do have Hulu. I will check it out.
Okay, here I'll rank. Oh my god. Okay, so people are probably gonna just hate me for this opinion. My favorite show is Friends.
Ooh. Okay. Why?
Like, I've been watching Friends literally my whole life. Like my parents were obsessed with it. They always had it on, and so I will just, I don't know, it's just something about it. It's just one of those shows, I just will put it on and it's just like I feel like I'm literally like with the characters sometimes. Like it's a good feeling.
Yeah, they were
when you watch a show, it's
probably
just a good
right
feeling.
in that demo. When Friends was out, they
But
were
it's
in the
not
Friends
like
demo.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. But it's not like I'm like ranking it like way higher. Like sometimes I even like will be like, oh, The Office sometimes like higher. Like but it's
Well,
just
see,
like
and that's
overall I
how.
think
So
Friends is probably my overall favorite.
The Office is my favorite show, but I do think that Breaking Bad is the best show that's ever been on TV. So I mean, you can like
See
you can like
I've
Friends, that can
talked
be your
about it
favorite,
before,
but
but
what's up?
no, yeah, there's definitely like TV shows that are like just like when you watch it, your like mind is like blown and you're so into it. But it's like when you watch those shows a second time, it's not the same. But like when you watch like The Friends or The
Hmm,
Office, you can watch it like a fifth or a sixth
interesting. Have you
time,
seen
and it's still
Ozark?
kind of like the same almost. No, I've heard great things about it.
Okay, yeah, and it's
I've
the
heard
new
actually very
season
good
is
things about it.
coming
I
out
always
like
want to start
in
it.
a week or two. Yeah, you
Okay.
should. It's awesome.
How
I
many
mean,
seasons are there?
it's yeah. This is the fourth and final season.
That's Jason Bateman, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
really like
awesome.
Jason Bateman too. He's really good.
Me too. Me too. Okay, that was
Yeah,
good. For on the spot, that was pretty good. It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
thank you. Yep, it's like it's
I'm
definitely
impressed.
like sometimes I'm just like, what the hell is this show? Like it is so funny. It's like this is so amusing. Like it's just way different than other shows.
Okay. All right. Well, see, and we gave some good. I like this segment because it gives you like you can give people something
No, yeah,
cool
that's a
to
good
check
segment.
out.
You got to keep that. You should keep
Thanks,
that.
man.
You should like have like you should just let every guest know like, hey, like just we do this thing like just in case. Like
Ooh, I didn't
you'll get
think
every
about
single
that.
dude, literally every you'll get so many different answers for everything. Like everyone's song
Yeah.
taste is different. Everyone's movie taste is different. Everyone's taste is so different. Also, I have another just in case. I'm sure
Okay.
everyone knows it, but you got to do a remembrance for Betty White.
Okay. What do you mean a
I
remembrance?
mean, she passed away.
Yeah, I know. But so how are
Like
you gonna
she's a
remember her?
legend. Like she is a
Yeah,
legend. I think we should all just remember her in our thoughts.
dude, you probably never saw anything Betty White was in.
That is definitely not true.
What have you seen that Betty White's in? Because I'll tell you right now, I
So
was
much SNL.
hardcore watching the Golden Girls back in the day with my mom.
I've actually seen a couple of that.
Yeah,
My
right,
grandma used
man.
to put it on.
Come
My
on,
grandma
guy.
did used to put on. My
Come on,
grandma
guy.
used to put on that one show. What's the show? Oh my god. It's a
Dude,
game show.
don't
And it's
distract
like
from
celebrities and they'll sit up on a panel and
yeah
there'll be
Hollywood
like
Squares.
three of them. My grandma used to watch that shit all the time.
Yeah, that was
Like,
great.
oh my god.
Yes,
And they'd always be smoking cigarettes on the thing and
yes,
like
yeah.
yeah, dude, my grandma used to put on all that old stuff. Like,
I'll take
oh my
Alf for
gosh.
the block, please. That's how they would like, cause they'd be playing tic tac
Mhm.
toe, and so you'd have
And
to
it's
pick
it's
like.
just like I'd be watching and she'd be so amused and I would just be like, "What the hell is going on?"
Now, some people,
But
because she was a huge animal lover, and her birthday is the 17th of January, so there are people that are saying that you should make a donation in her name on January
mm.
17th to an animal shelter.
I also she used to be on SNL all the time, and so
I'm pretty sure she
I
was only on
watch
once, my
SNL
guy.
so much growing up. Was she really? It was a
Yeah,
Christmas episode, so I've seen it
it's
so many
fine.
times. I don't know. How come? So
You're a
how come
typical
I have
millennial.
to? How come I have to be like have to seen everything about the person to just remember them in my thoughts? Like she passed away and she's a legend. Like why do I have to
I'm
like
just saying
know what
you're
her
a
bra size
typical.
is? And why do I have to know what color underpants she likes to wear for me to be a fan of her? Like she is an awesome woman and she was an old lady that killed and she paved the way for so many women. But no, I have to see every fucking show she's ever been in
I just okay.
for
Here's why.
me
Here's why
to
I
think she's
asked,
cool.
because you're typical. I don't know if you're millennial or I don't know what age group you're in, but the typical of like, oh, Betty White, rest in peace, legend. You're like, well, what was she in? What did she do that you really enjoyed? Betty White, bro, legend,
So
rest in
so
peace.
she can't be so okay. So she's not a legend anymore. So I can so I personally can never. Okay. Let's just take it back. Let's not remember Betty White in our thoughts, and let's just forget what she ever was because she didn't do anything.
No, I'm saying that she did do something, but
No,
like
Betty White was not
people.
a legend. She didn't do shit.
Now you're being toxic. Oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
No, you were being toxic.
Not
and
even.
I
I was
toxic
clearly making a point that people are like,
You
oh,
have
so-and-so's a
strictly been
legend, and they
toxic
haven't
since the start.
seen anything that they've done. It's like, well, how do you know they're a legend?
So-
Because everyone else told you?
You can't admire someone for what they do.
I mean, yeah, but you don't admire her for what she does because you didn't know anything she'd done. Got him.
Okay. I take it back. I hate Betty White. I hate her.
There it is.
I hope I get canceled for saying that. I hate Betty
Brendon
White.
hates the professor and Betty White. Title of the episode.
Yep. Because strictly, you have to know everything about that person to admire them.
Oh my gosh. I was just making a joke. I was poking the bear a little bit. Apparently I poked it a little too much.
Kevin, do you like me?
Yes, I like you very much.
What do I do?
You work at a...
Oh, you don't even know what I do.
No, I do. I didn't know if you want me to put
don't
your
even know what I
business
do?
out. Do you want me to put your business out? Where you work?
Yeah, I don't
Exactly.
care.
I was trying to protect your privacy. Thank you very much.
I'm a stripper.
True. OnlyFans.
Dude, can you actually link my OnlyFans?
Yes. Yes.
I have
okay.
such a mean OnlyFans. It's only $5.99 to subscribe.
Okay.
And
What are you doing on there?
what's up?
What are you doing on
Dude,
there?
straight ass pics.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Just kidding. I actually do not have an OnlyFans.
Yeah, right.
I just
dude.
subscribe to a lot of them.
Brendon hates the professor, Betty White, and just started an OnlyFans. Dang, this is a banger episode right now.
First off, I was subscribed to Betty's OnlyFans, so
That's good.
so that's what she does.
There you go. There you go.
Just kidding, dude.
All right,
I worked at the
cool.
courthouse. I've seen too much old stuff.
That's an understatement. Okay. Anything
That's
you
such an
wanna,
understatement.
you want to plug, talk about, anything we forgot?
Honestly, no, dude.
Okay.
No one
Thank
deserves
you.
my shout out.
Dang.
I'm gonna plug your podcast, dude.
Yeah?
If you
You're going to plug my podcast on the
To
podcast?
all the listeners, keep listening. Subscribe to his Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. Subscribe to
Dang.
it all. Just keep listening. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, dude. Look at you.
Yeah, dude, of course.
Now I feel bad for being toxic.
It's okay. I was toxic too.
All right, cool. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Don't hang
See,
up.
what's shitty is we saved all of our best stuff for the end.
That's the best part because you need watch time, okay?
That's true.
You want people that's YouTube 101. People are always putting the best stuff at the end.
Well, I don't have a
Spoiler
YouTube,
alert.
so I don't know YouTube 101.
Yeah. Well, I just helped you out.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. All right, don't hang
Thanks,
up.
mate. All right.
All right.